The 2026 Chevrolet Bel Air. The name alone brings a wave of classic car memories, but this time Chevrolet has reimagined the icon for the future. Let's take a deep dive into its design, performance, and everything that makes the new Bel Air such an exciting addition to the modern automotive world. Now, first impressions matter, and the moment you see the 2026 Bel Air, you know it's something different. It's not just a rehash of the 1957 legend. It's a tribute with a futuristic twist. The exterior design perfectly blends retro styling cues with a sleek aerodynamic silhouette. The front end pays homage to the original with a wide chrome-inspired grille and dual LED headlights that have been reshaped into sharp modern blades. The Chevrolet badge sits proudly in the center, surrounded by a subtle glow that gives it a premium look when the lights come on at night. From the side, the car keeps those long sweeping lines that made the original Bel Air such a standout in its era. But the 2026 model takes things further with sculpted panels and flush door handles that retract when you start the vehicle. The roofline flows smoothly into a slightly raised rear, giving it a fastback-like stance. And of course, we can't ignore the wheels. Chevy offers several options ranging from 18-inch classic chrome-style rims to 21-inch performance alloys that give the car an aggressive road presence. Around back, the Bel Air's tail section is a showstopper. The taillights are a modern reinterpretation of the iconic jet-inspired fins, but instead of exaggerated chrome, you get precision-cut LED strips that wrap around the edges. There's even a full-width light bar option for higher trims that connects both taillights with a glowing red beam, making the Bel Air instantly recognizable from a distance. The subtle spoiler integrated into the trunk adds a sporty touch, while the quad exhausts hint at the power hiding underneath. Speaking of power, we'll get to that soon, but before we do, let's talk about the interior. Because the 2026 Bel Air isn't just a pretty face, it's a masterpiece of comfort and technology. As soon as you open the door, you're greeted with a cabin that feels both retro and futuristic. Chevrolet really nailed the balance between nostalgia and modern luxury. The dashboard has a horizontal layout, reminiscent of the classic Bel Air, but now it's dominated by a 15-inch curved OLED touchscreen that handles everything from navigation to entertainment to climate control. Right behind the steering wheel sits a fully digital instrument cluster that can be customized to display everything from classic analog-style gauges to performance stats and augmented reality navigation. The materials inside are top-tier: premium leather upholstery, brushed aluminum accents, and optional wood grain panels that echo the 1950s aesthetic without feeling dated. There's even ambient lighting throughout the cabin, and you can choose from 64 different colors to match your mood or driving mode. Seating comfort is another highlight. Both the front and rear seats are generously bolstered, and for the first time in Bel Air history, you can get full massage functionality and cooling options. Rear passengers aren't left out either. They get their own touchscreen climate controls and USB-C ports for fast charging. The cabin is impressively quiet, thanks to Chevy's triple-layer insulation and acoustic glass, which keeps out wind and road noise even at highway speeds. Now, let's open the hood and talk performance, because this is where the 2026 Bel Air shows it's more than just a pretty cruiser. Chevrolet is offering 3 different powertrain options to cater to a wide range of drivers. The base model comes with a 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine producing around 300 horsepower, paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission. It's efficient and smooth, ideal for city driving or long road trips. The mid-tier option steps things up with a 3.0-liter twin-turbo V6, delivering about 450 horsepower and 450 lb-ft of torque. This version can sprint from 0 to 60 in roughly 4.5 seconds, making it a serious performer in the modern Grand Tourer category. The transmission in this trim is a 10-speed automatic with paddle shifters for more engagement. And for those who crave the ultimate Bel Air experience, Chevy has introduced a high-performance hybrid V8. It's a 5.5-liter small-block engine paired with an electric motor for instant torque, combining to produce a massive 650 horsepower. With this setup, the 2026 Bel Air can go from 0 to 60 in just 3.3 seconds. The hybrid system also allows for limited electric-only driving for short city commutes, proving that muscle cars can be both thrilling and responsible. Handling has also seen major improvements. The car uses a new adaptive magnetic ride control system that constantly adjusts the suspension based on road conditions and driving style. Whether you're cruising down the highway or tackling a winding mountain road, the Bel Air feels planted and composed. The steering is precise, and the brakes, massive Brembo units on the top trim, deliver incredible stopping power without any fade. Fuel economy is surprisingly respectable too, especially for such a powerful lineup. The four-cylinder variant can achieve up to 32 miles per gallon on the highway, while the V6 manages around 27. The hybrid V8, thanks to its electric assist, can hit about 25 combined, which is impressive given the performance figures. Safety and tech features are state-of-the-art. Chevrolet's latest Super Cruise system comes standard on all trims, allowing hands-free driving on mapped highways. The car also features a 360-degree camera system, automatic lane correction, adaptive cruise control, and even a driver attention monitor that detects drowsiness and suggests brakes. You also get over-the-air software updates, so your Bel Air stays current with the latest improvements. The sound system deserves a special mention, too. Developed in partnership with Bose, the Bel Air's 14-speaker surround setup delivers crystal-clear audio, and if you opt for the premium package, you'll get a 20-speaker system with 3D spatial sound technology that truly immerses you in your favorite music or podcasts. Now, what about pricing? Chevy aims to make the 2026 Bel Air accessible while still premium. The base Turbo 4 model starts at around $42,000, which puts it in competition with mid-level sedans and sport coupes. The V6 version moves up to roughly $55,000, while the high-performance hybrid V8 model sits closer to $75,000 fully loaded. Optional packages can push it past $80,000, but for that price, you're getting a luxurious, powerful, and timeless machine. Overall, the 2026 Chevrolet Bel Air is a fascinating blend of past and future. It captures the spirit of the original, style, presence, and American pride, while adding everything today's drivers expect: cutting-edge technology, performance, and comfort. It's not just a car. It's an experience, a statement that classic names can still thrive in the modern era when done right. So, is the new Bel Air worth the hype? Absolutely. Whether you're a fan of old-school Chevys or someone looking for a stylish Grand Tourer with muscle under the hood, this car delivers in every way. It's bold, it's beautiful, and it's unmistakably Chevrolet. That wraps up today's review of the 2026 Chevrolet Bel Air. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an upload. Let me know in the comments what you think about the new Bel Air. Does it live up to the legendary name? Until next time, this is MVP Road Car signing off. Stay fast, stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next one. The 2026 Mazda RX-7, the car that has petrol heads all over the world holding their breath. After years of speculation, rumors, and concept teasers, Mazda has finally delivered what fans have been dreaming about for decades. A modern sports car that carries the iconic RX name with pure rotary-powered spirit and cutting-edge technology. So buckle up, because we're diving deep into its design, performance, interior, and of course, the price tag that could either excite you or make you rethink your savings plan. Right off the bat, when you first see the 2026 RX-7 in person, it's hard not to be blown away. Mazda has absolutely nailed the design language here. The RX-7 has always been known for its sleek aerodynamic curves, and this new version keeps that DNA alive, but with a futuristic twist. The front end is aggressive yet elegant, with those razor-sharp LED headlights that almost look alive. The hood dips low, giving it that signature sports coupe stance, and the sculpted lines flowing along the sides are a perfect balance of muscle and grace. It's got that zoom soul Mazda always talks about, but turned up to 11. The front grille is a reimagined version of Mazda's Kodo design philosophy, minimalist yet bold. framed by a subtle carbon fiber splitter that hints at its performance pedigree. The wheel arches flare slightly, housing gorgeous 20-inch forged alloy wheels that come in multiple finishes depending on the trim. Around the back, the rear design is where nostalgia meets modern art. The circular LED taillights are a clear homage to the classic RX-7 FD, but they've been reshaped with a 3D effect that gives them a depth you won't stop staring at. The dual exhausts sit wide apart beneath an active diffuser, and when you see that retractable rear spoiler lift at speed, you instantly know this car means business. Mazda has managed to make the RX-7 both timeless and futuristic. The proportions are near perfect. Long hood, short rear deck, and a low-slung stance that hugs the ground like a true driver's car. It's the kind of car that doesn't just turn heads. It makes people stop in their tracks. Now moving inside, the cabin of the 2026 RX-7 is where Mazda really flexes its attention to detail. This is not your average minimalist interior. It's driver-focused, premium, and surprisingly comfortable. Slide into the driver's seat, and you immediately notice how everything is angled towards you. The digital cockpit is a 12.3-inch curved display that blends seamlessly into the dashboard, providing real-time performance data, navigation, and rotary engine information. There's even a special Spirit R mode that transforms the interface into a race-inspired layout with tachometer highlights and G-force tracking. Mazda has gone with a combination of Alcantara, leather, and lightweight carbon fiber throughout the cabin. The steering wheel is thick, flat-bottomed, and wrapped in perforated leather, while the paddle shifters behind it are made of brushed aluminum. The center console houses a minimalist gear selector and a rotary controller for the infotainment system. Echoing the car's rotary heritage in a subtle but clever way, the seats are some of the best in this segment, deeply bolstered, with enough comfort for daily driving but enough firmness to hold you tight in corners. Even the sound insulation is perfectly balanced. You get to hear the engine's whine and turbo whistle without it being overwhelming. Mazda has also included a 12-speaker Bose audio system tuned specifically for the RX-7's cabin acoustics, but honestly, once you hear that engine, you might never use it. Speaking of the engine, let's talk performance, because this is where the RX-7 truly comes alive. The heart of the 2026 RX-7 is the all-new Skyactiv-R hybrid rotary engine. Yes, you heard that right. Mazda finally brought back the rotary, but this time it's smarter, cleaner, and paired with hybrid tech. Under the hood sits a 1.6-liter twin-rotor rotary unit, turbocharged and assisted by a compact electric motor. Together, they produce an impressive 450 horsepower and 370 pound-feet of torque. Power is sent to the rear wheels through an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission that delivers lightning-fast shifts. The result? 0 to 60 miles per hour in just about 3.6 seconds, with a top speed rumored to touch 190 mph. But the real magic isn't just in the numbers, it's in the way this car feels on the road. Mazda engineers have tuned the suspension with a perfect blend of rigidity and flexibility. The car uses an adaptive damping system that constantly adjusts to your driving style and road conditions. Steering feedback is crisp and organic, giving you that old-school mechanical connection that so many modern cars have lost. The rotary engine's sound is intoxicating. That high-pitched whir builds up as you climb through the revs, and it's impossible not to smile every time you downshift. The electric motor adds instant torque, eliminating the traditional lag rotary engines we're known for, while also improving fuel efficiency and emissions. Mazda claims an estimated combined fuel economy of around 30 miles per gallon. Impressive for a car this powerful. But performance isn't just about speed. The RX-7 feels perfectly balanced. The weight distribution is nearly 50-50, and with lightweight materials like carbon fiber in the chassis and aluminum panels, it tips the scales at under 3,200 pounds. That means sharp cornering, minimal body roll, and an incredible sense of control whether you're cruising through the city or carving up a mountain road. Mazda also included several drive modes: Normal, Sport, Spirit R, and Track. Each one tweaks throttle response, steering weight, suspension stiffness, and even sound levels from the exhaust. Spirit R mode is where the car feels most alive. Throttle response is razor sharp, and the rotary engine sings its heart out as the electric assist kicks in seamlessly. It's a reminder of why the RX-7 was such a legend, because it connects you to the drive like few cars can. Now, let's talk price and availability. Mazda hasn't gone insane with the pricing, which is refreshing in today's market of overpriced performance cars. The base model of the 2026 RX-7 is expected to start around $58,000, while the mid-tier GT trim could reach around $68,000. The fully loaded Spirit R edition, which includes lightweight forged wheels, upgraded brakes, and a more aggressive aero kit, will likely push around $80,000. That's still a solid deal considering what you're getting. A genuine sports car with heritage, hybrid performance, and a rotary heart. Compare that to rivals like the Toyota Supra, Nissan Z Nismo, or even the Porsche Cayman, and the RX-7 stands out as both an enthusiast's dream and a surprisingly attainable icon. Mazda also hinted that production will be somewhat limited during the first year, focusing on quality and exclusivity rather than mass volume. And let's be honest, that's how it should be. The RX-7 has always been a car for true drivers, not just collectors or speculators. In the end, the 2026 Mazda RX-7 isn't just a car, it's a statement. It's proof that Mazda still believes in the art of driving, in the emotional connection between human and machine. The rotary is back, evolved for a new generation, and it feels like the perfect tribute to a nameplate that defined an era of pure, unfiltered driving pleasure. So whether you're a die-hard RX fan or just someone who loves cars that have soul, the new RX-7 is something to celebrate. It's beautiful, fast, balanced, and full of character. Exactly what the world of sports cars needed. That's all for today's deep dive into the 2026 Mazda RX-7. What do you think, MVP family? Has Mazda created the perfect revival of a legend, or would you have wanted something different under the hood? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the review, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth car reviews and test drives. Until next time, this is MVP Road Car. Keep driving with passion, and I'll see you in the next one. The 26 Chevrolet Chevelle SS. Inside, out, under the hood. Giving you all the juicy details you need before you decide whether this beast deserves a spot in your garage. Buckle up. When you first lay eyes on the Chevelle SS, it arrests your attention. The silhouette is muscular and poised, with broad shoulders and taut surfaces that speak strength even before the engine growls. The front end commands respect. A wide grille with a dark mesh insert and minimal chrome, flanked by sharp LED headlights that cut deep into the fascia. Those lights use daytime running strips that flow into the grille edges, creating a seamless face. A lower splitter juts forward. On higher trims, you'll find carbon fiber trimming or aerodynamic lips. Hood vents or scoops are functional in many variants, hinting at the ferocious potential hidden beneath. From the side, the long hood and short deck proportions are classic, but modern touches abound. The fenders flare just enough around the wheels, giving it that planted stance. The beltline is slightly rising, lending motion even while the car is static. Door handles are flush in the higher trims, blending into the bodywork. Mirrors carry aerodynamic design, sometimes with matte or carbon accents. The wheel options range from 20 to 21 inches, with designs that vary from multi-spoke to bold split-spoke arrangements, always wrapped in performance rubber that peeks from beneath the arches. Turning to the rear, there's a satisfying presence. The taillights stretch horizontally in a continuous bar motif in certain trims, or split into distinct dual elements in others. The lower bumper is sculpted, integrating diffusers and dual or quad exhaust outlets, large commanding pipes that frame the rear. Some versions may include a subtle lip spoiler or active aero elements for downforce at speed. Overall, the exterior styling succeeds in merging modern aggression with muscle heritage. Once inside, you're enveloped in a cabin that balances retro cues with contemporary luxury. Step in and your eyes drift over brushed metal, carbon fiber inlays, and soft leather surfaces. Contrast stitching runs across the dash, door cards, and seats, giving the cabin a handcrafted feel. The seats are deeply bolstered sport units, thick cushioning interlaced with support to keep you planted in cornering. Headroom and legroom in front feel generous for a performance car. The rear, naturally, is more compact, usable for shorter trips or occasional passengers, but you won't want to spend hours back there on a long highway run. Looking ahead, the instrument cluster is a hybrid of analog and digital. You'll see traditional gauge faces, tachometer, speedometer, but in between, a configurable digital display gives you telemetry, navigation, lap times, and driver aids. The infotainment system centers a large, high-resolution touchscreen elegantly integrated in the dash rather than stuck on top. It supports Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, wireless connectivity, over-the-air updates, and even performance apps to log runs or monitor engine parameters. The controls are well-positioned. Climate toggles, drive mode selectors, and steering wheel buttons lie within reach without feeling cluttered. Steering wheel quality is top-notch. Thick rim, paddle shifters in the sporty variants, a chunky feel that communicates feedback. Sound insulation is balanced so that you hear the engine when you want it, but wind, road, and mechanical noises are filtered out more than in classic muscle cars. That said, under full throttle, you'll get a satisfying growl reminding you of the car's purpose. Storage is decent. A reasonably sized center console bin, door pockets, and a glove box. The trunk is surprisingly usable for a performance coupe, deep enough for weekend bags and gear. Build quality feels premium. Gaps are tight. Materials match, and nothing feels out of place or cheap. The ambience is part luxury, part cockpit, part muscle car. A trifecta many attempt but seldom pull off. Under the hood is where dreams begin. The 2026 Chevelle SS is expected to be offered with multiple V8 engine options. The base SS variant is rumored to carry a 6.2-liter supercharged V8, pushing outputs in the neighborhood of 650 horsepower and 650 lb-ft of torque. Higher trims or special editions may stretch toward 7.4 liters, classic displacement nod to the older big blocks, with outputs nudging 700-plus horsepower in limited numbers. These are strong projections but align with what enthusiasts hope Chevrolet will deliver. The transmission options are likely to include a modern 10-speed automatic or possibly 8-speed in certain trims, tuned for fast shifts and sporty response. There's chatter of a manual version reserved for purists, perhaps a 6-speed, but only in limited edition or performance packs. Power delivery is expected to be immediate, with launch control available in performance modes to manage torque and grip. Brake hardware is serious. Multi-piston calipers front and rear, large ventilated rotors, and in top variants perhaps carbon ceramic discs to handle repeated abuse. Suspension is rumored to be adaptive, allowing for softer settings for daily driving and stiff setups for track work. The chassis itself likely benefits from structural reinforcements and lightweight materials, aluminum substructures, possibly composite body panels, to manage mass. Rumors suggest a curb weight in the ballpark of 1,800 to 2,000 kilograms, depending on options, meaning you get muscle without excess bulk. Driving dynamics are expected to be vastly improved over yesteryear's muscle cars. Body roll should be controlled, steering precise and well-weighted, and the car should reward input with poise rather than punishing oscillations. Traction management, torque vectoring, and electronic stability aids will help tame the beast when required, but the intention seems to be to give an experience, not a nanny ride. Expect 0-60 mph times in the low 3s for the base SS, and possibly sub-3-second figures for higher trims in ideal conditions. In real-world drives, from early reviews and concept tests, the Chevelle SS's throttle response feels immediate. No lag, just power. Mid-range punch is strong, giving overtaking confidence without needing to hammer it into the upper revs. The exhaust chatter is rich under load, settling into a mellow growl when cruising. In cornering, Drivers report controlled composure. You feel the weight, but you also feel grip and surety. The balance is less brick on springs and more muscular precision, the kind of car that asks you to explore its limits. Safely, without instilling dread. Fuel economy, of course, isn't the selling point here. Expect figures more generous than old-school V8 monsters, but still modest for a performance machine, perhaps in the range of 15-18 mpg city, 22 to 25 mpg highway, US, depending on configuration and driving style. Electric assist systems or mild hybrid tech may aid efficiency in certain trims, but nothing to suggest full hybridization yet in rumors. Then we come to price. Because Chevrolet has not confirmed official specs publicly, much of the pricing remains speculative. The base Chevelle SS is projected to begin somewhere around USD 50,000 to 55,000. Mid-tier trims with added performance, styling, and tech features might hover between USD 65,000 and 80,000. The top tier, limited edition, high-output models, especially those with carbon ceramic brakes, aerodynamics, or unique finishes, could push into USD 90,000 to 100,000 plus territory. In markets outside the US, import fees, taxes, and localization costs would likely inflate those numbers further. When comparing to rivals like the Dodge Challenger SRT variants or Ford Mustang GT GT500, the Chevelle SS's projected pricing is ambitious but competitive, especially if the performance, build quality, and usability land as promised. Its value proposition will hinge not just on horsepower, but on how broad the usability spectrum is. Fun on track, comfortable on highways, manageable in traffic. Of course, prospective buyers should consider factors outside sheer performance: maintenance, parts availability, warranty, resale, dealership support, and reliability. New cars with high outputs sometimes face teething issues. The real test will be durability over years, not just axle runs, all told. The 2026 Chevelle SS promises to deliver a compelling mix. A muscular exterior that nods to history while embracing modern design. An interior that keeps drivers in mind and balances comfort with sport. And a performance envelope that, if realized as rumored, will make it a serious contender in the modern muscle car wars. Pricing is ambitious but not unreasonable given what enthusiasts hope Chevrolet will bring. If this car hits close to those expectations, it could reignite interest not just in this model, but inspire other manufacturers to push harder. ...2026 Chevrolet Impala SS 427. Yes, you heard that right. The Impala nameplate has returned, and Chevy has done something special here. They've taken one of their most iconic badges from the past, mixed it with cutting-edge engineering, and created a full-size performance sedan that blends old-school muscle with modern sophistication. This one's for the purists, but it's also aimed at a new generation of drivers who want comfort, power, and style in one big American package. At first glance, the 2026 Impala SS 427 commands attention. The stance is wide, low, and confident. Up front, there's an unmistakable heritage design cue, a bold split grille with the SS badge sitting proudly at the center. The headlights are narrow, with LED matrix technology that gives the car a predatory look, especially at night. The sculpted hood features subtle heat extractors that hint at the beast underneath. You can tell Chevy didn't just want this to be another luxury sedan. They wanted it to look like it could eat the road for breakfast. Moving along the sides, the profile is sleek but muscular. It's got that long, sweeping roofline that ties back to the old Impalas, but everything feels tighter and more aerodynamic. Chevy claims a drag coefficient of 0.27, which is impressive for a car this size. The SS rides on 20-inch forged aluminum wheels as standard, with optional 21-inch performance alloys for those who want a more aggressive look. Brembo brakes peek through the spokes, with red calipers that remind you this isn't just a cruiser. The rear is where things get really interesting. quad exhaust outlets, a subtle lip spoiler, and LED taillights that echo the classic triple lamp design from the 60s models. It's nostalgia reborn, but in a thoroughly modern way. Open the door, and the interior instantly tells you this isn't just about muscle. It's about refinement, too. The cabin feels like a blend of luxury and sport. Chevy has clearly paid attention to materials and craftsmanship this time around. The dashboard is wrapped in soft-touch leather with contrast stitching. Brushed aluminum trim runs across the dash and doors, and ambient lighting adds a warm glow at night. The flat-bottom steering wheel feels thick and purposeful, with the SS badge embedded in the center. Behind it, a fully digital 12.3-inch driver display gives you everything from classic analog-style gauges to performance. Telemetry data. The center console houses a massive 15-inch touchscreen powered by the latest Chevrolet Infotainment 5 system. It's quick, fluid, and supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, plus over-the-air updates. There's also a dedicated SS mode button that changes everything from suspension settings to exhaust tone and throttle response. The seats are a highlight, heavily bolstered yet comfortable for long drives, wrapped in perforated leather with micro suede inserts and the 427 logo embroidered into the headrests. Heated, ventilated, and massaging functions are all standard on the SS trim. Rear passengers aren't forgotten either. With the Impala's long wheelbase, there's generous legroom in the back, and Chevy even added heated rear seats, dual climate zones, and USB-C fast charging. The panoramic glass roof stretches almost the entire length of the cabin, flooding it with natural light. The overall impression is one of quiet confidence. This is a car that can storm down a highway, but also keep you cocooned in comfort while doing it. Now let's talk about what everyone's really here for: performance. Under the hood of the 2026 Impala SS 427 is something truly special. Chevy resurrected the legendary 427 cubic inch displacement number, though this time it's in the form of a modern 7.0-liter V8. It's naturally aspirated, which is almost unheard of these days, and it roars with old-school character. Output is rated at 520 horsepower and 495 pound-feet of torque, paired with a 10-speed automatic transmission tuned specifically for the SS. And yes, for the die-hard enthusiasts, Chevy offers a 6-speed manual option, something that's becoming increasingly rare in performance sedans. Power goes to the rear wheels by default, but an optional all-wheel drive system is available for those who live in harsher climates or want extra grip. 0 to 60 miles per hour comes in around 3.8 seconds, and top speed is electronically limited to 175 mph. The sound of that 427 is something else, a deep, mechanical rumble that grows into a furious roar as you climb the revs. Chevy has engineered an active exhaust system that opens up valves when you switch into SS or track mode, delivering an authentic muscle car soundtrack. Handling is where the Impala surprises you. Despite its size, it feels nimble. Thanks to adaptive magnetic ride control, the car reads the road 1,000 times per second and adjusts damping instantly. In comfort mode, it glides over bumps like a luxury sedan. Switch to sport or track mode, and it tightens up, cornering flat and confident. The steering is sharp and weighted perfectly, and the rear differential can actively distribute torque to help the car rotate through turns. It's not trying to be a Corvette, but for a full-size sedan, it's shockingly composed. Braking performance is equally strong. The Brembo setup with 6-piston front and 4-piston rear calipers ensures fade-free stopping, even under repeated high-speed runs. Chevy also offers carbon ceramic brakes as an option if you plan to take this beast to the track. The chassis feels rigid, and the overall balance between power, control, and comfort is spot on. This is a big car that doesn't feel big when you drive it hard, and that's impressive engineering. Fuel economy probably isn't the reason you're looking at an Impala SS 427, but for those curious, Chevy claims around 18 miles per gallon combined, not bad considering the displacement and performance figures. Still, nobody's buying this for efficiency. They're buying it for the experience. Chevy's also packed in all the modern driver aids you'd expect: adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, rear cross-traffic alert, and an optional semi-autonomous driving feature for highway cruising. Safety meets speed, and that's always a welcome combination. As for pricing, the 2026 Impala SS 427 starts at around $69,995 for the base SS trim, with the fully loaded Performance Edition crossing just over the $80,000 mark. That might sound steep, but when you compare it to European performance sedans with similar power, think BMW M550i or Audi S6, the Impala comes in significantly more affordable while offering that raw, unmistakable American V8 character. It's a statement car, one that blends heritage, power, and luxury in a way only Chevy can. So what's the verdict? The 2026 Chevrolet Impala SS 427 is more than just a revival. It's a return to form for American performance sedans. It respects its roots while embracing the future. It's got the looks, the luxury, the technology, and most importantly, the soul that so many modern cars seem to have lost. Whether you remember the original Impalas from the 60s or you're just discovering the name now, this new SS 427 gives you something to feel. And that's what driving should be about. So, MVP road car family, if you're looking for a car that can roar down the highway, turn heads in the city, and still cradle you in comfort after a long drive, the Impala SS 427 might just be the perfect mix of muscle and maturity. It's big, it's bold, and it's back. Let me know what you think. Has Chevy nailed it with this revival, or should they have left the Impala in the history books? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you enjoyed this review, and make sure you're subscribed because we've got plenty more epic car content coming your way. Welcome back, MVP road car family. Today we're diving into something truly special. A car that doesn't just represent luxury, it defines it. I'm talking about the 2026 Mercedes-Maybach Mythos SL, a masterpiece that blends power, prestige, and pure opulence in a way that only Mercedes-Maybach can deliver. This isn't just another grand tourer. It's a statement on wheels, built for those who want the absolute pinnacle of performance wrapped in elegance. Now, before we even start talking specs, just take a moment to appreciate how this car looks. The exterior of the 2026 Maybach Mythos SL is nothing short of automotive art. Based on the new generation Mercedes SL platform, but elevated far beyond it. Every line, every curve, and every surface has been sculpted with the precision of a luxury yacht designer. The long, sweeping hood, the wide stance, and the elegant flow from front to rear give it an unmistakable grand touring silhouette. The signature Maybach grille dominates the front. Vertically slatted chrome bars with that bold Maybach emblem shimmering like jewelry. You also get a redesigned front bumper with larger air intakes, accentuated chrome elements, and an illuminated Mercedes star that makes a statement even in the dark. The lighting setup is futuristic yet classy. Mercedes has equipped the Mythos SL with their latest digital light headlamps. These not only adapt to traffic and road conditions, but also project symbols and guidelines directly onto the road. Around the back, the tail lights are razor-thin, fully LED, and flow beautifully into the sculpted rear end, where a subtle Maybach badge reminds everyone that this is no ordinary SL. The chrome detailing continues throughout the body, from the window trims to the side skirts, and the multi-tone paint options are pure Maybach luxury. You can have custom two-tone combinations that take over a week to paint by hand. And then there are the wheels, exclusive forged alloys, 22 inches in size, featuring that Maybach monoblock design that gives off an old-school glamour vibe mixed with modern performance edge. When you open the door, that's when the real magic begins. The interior of the 2026 Maybach Mythos SL is where craftsmanship meets cutting-edge technology. This cabin isn't just built, it's curated. You're greeted with the scent of fine Napa leather, hand-stitched by artisans who spend hours just perfecting the seams. Every surface is covered in soft touch materials, polished metal accents, or high-gloss wood veneers that can be customized to your taste. The cabin is available in several Maybach-exclusive color themes. Everything from warm mocha and ivory tones to deep burgundy and navy blue combinations that evoke the feeling of a private jet lounge. The seats are perhaps the most advanced you'll find in any roadster. Each one is fully adjustable with memory, heating, cooling, and even massage functions that adapt to your posture. The headrests feature Maybach embroidery, and the integrated neck warmers ensure you can drive top-down even on chilly evenings. The steering wheel is wrapped in dual-tone leather with polished aluminum accents, and the Maybach emblem sits proudly at the center. At the heart of the interior sits the latest MBUX Hyperscreen system, a massive curved OLED display that stretches across the dashboard, combining 3 screens under one glass panel. It's not just for looks. It's your control center for everything from navigation to comfort settings, ambient lighting, and entertainment. The passenger also gets their own screen, so they can manage climate or play with the seat massagers while you focus on the road. And speaking of lighting, the ambient illumination is stunning. You get customizable colors, gradients, and even animations that sync with your driving mode or music. Now, since this is a Maybach, comfort and isolation are top priorities. Mercedes engineers went above and beyond to make the Mythos SL feel like a cocoon of serenity. The acoustic insulation is exceptional. Even at highway speeds, wind and road noise are almost non-existent, thanks to the thick glass and meticulous sealing. The sound system is a Burmester 4D surround setup with 30 speakers, including exciters built into the seats that make you feel the music, not just hear it. It's the kind of immersive experience that turns every drive into a concert. Of course, all the luxury in the world wouldn't mean much without performance to match. And the 2026 Maybach Mythos SL delivers in abundance. Under that long, sculpted hood lies a handcrafted 6.0-liter twin-turbocharged V12 engine, tuned specifically for this model. It produces a breathtaking 750 horsepower and 950 newton-meters of torque. That's enough to launch this luxury roadster from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just about 3.6 seconds, which is astonishing for a car that weighs well over 2 tons. The power delivery is silky smooth but incredibly potent. You press the throttle and the Mythos surges forward effortlessly, with that deep V12 growl that sounds like pure prestige. Power is sent to all 4 wheels through Mercedes' 4MATIC Plus system, which can adjust torque distribution dynamically for maximum grip and stability. The transmission is a 9-speed automatic that shifts seamlessly, offering buttery-smooth transitions in comfort mode and lightning-fast responses in sport. Plus, Mercedes has also fine-tuned the suspension system. The car uses active hydraulic dampers that scan the road surface ahead and adjust in real time, keeping the ride perfectly level whether you're cruising through the city or carving up a mountain pass. The Mythos SL also features rear-wheel steering, which makes this large roadster surprisingly agile in tight spaces and incredibly stable at high speeds. The braking system uses massive carbon ceramic rotors, providing fade-free stopping power. Despite its size and weight, the Mythos SL feels remarkably composed and balanced. It's not a track car. It's a luxury grand tourer built to dominate highways and coastlines with ease. The driving experience is all about confidence, comfort, and quiet authority. Now let's talk about exclusivity and pricing. The 2026 Mercedes-Maybach Mythos SL isn't a mass-produced car. It's part of the Mythos series, which Mercedes has positioned above even the standard Maybach models. Production is extremely limited. We're talking fewer than 100 units worldwide in the first run, each one hand-built and customizable to the owner's exact preferences. The price? Well, exclusivity comes at a cost. The starting price is expected to be around $1.4 million USD, but with bespoke options, personalized paint and interior finishes. Most buyers will easily push that to $1.8 or even $2 million. But that's exactly what the Mythos SL represents. Not just a car, but a piece of rolling art. It's for the collector who already owns a fleet of supercars and wants something different. Something elegant, timeless and effortlessly powerful. A car that makes a statement without needing to shout. And for that reason alone, it stands in a class of its own. Driving it feels like being in a world where every detail has been thought through, from the scent of the leather to the soft closing of the doors, the quiet hum of the V12 and the smooth glide over any surface. It's the kind of car that makes you want to take the long way home. Not because you need to, but because you can. So, to wrap it up, the 2026 Mercedes-Maybach Mythos SL isn't just the ultimate Mercedes roadster. It's a glimpse into the future of handcrafted luxury. It brings together performance, exclusivity, and comfort in a way that few cars ever have. Whether you see it parked outside a five-star hotel or cruising along the Riviera, it's guaranteed to turn heads and start conversations. If you're someone who appreciates artistry, engineering excellence, and unmatched presence on the road, this car is it. The crown jewel of the Mercedes lineup. And even if most of us will only get to admire it from afar, it's the kind of machine that reminds us why we love cars in the first place. Thanks for watching MVP Road Car. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2026 Mercedes-Maybach Mythos SL, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more in-depth reviews of the world's most exclusive rides, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new drop. Until next time, drive safe, dream big, and keep your passion on the road.